Now, I know what some of you guys might be thinking, dude, Agamatsu, this is the guy who loves debooking, the guy who loves hardcore shit, right? If you take a look at this update, I think this update for Runeslayer is really, really bad. Like, actually pretty bad, right? But let me explain, because I'm a fan. I love shit like this. I love Ganking. I love taking loot from PvP. I like this sort of shit. But realistically, let's be real. Most people who are playing this game are not that audience. They're not that audience. This was supposed to be the PvP-focused update, and there's not a lot of PvP-focused changes. Nano pointed out in his video already, a lot of good points that he made. But the biggest thing of all is that they introduced the game, and a lot of people off rip were like, oh yeah, this game seems, yeah, pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, there's some problems here and there. You know, PvP is not the greatest, but they generally enjoyed it for the PvE grind, bro. Motherfuckers were grinding PvE. That was the main shits, the main appeal of the game, bro. To introduce a system, right? Introduce a system where it's basically encouraging insane levels of jumping, literally off spawn, off rip, anyone you see, right? Encouraging people to get in these mass parties and gank anybody they see. I just don't think that's a good change. I don't think that's a good change. But let me break down why. For starters, right? For starters, like I said, it's encouraging for you to get in a team of people, a group of people, and just jump people, scam people, whatever you can do, right? The reason why it's already unfair is it's going to be like a 5v2, 6v2 for some motherfuckers, right? But the biggest thing is that there's no team killing. There is no team damage. There is no team damage, and they introduced an update where you can drop loot anywhere. And they didn't even make it's anybody. Anybody can drop loot. That's insane. I think a much better solution would have been like, oh, like if you join the Demon Sect or the Holy Knights, no matter if you are in one of those, loot starts to drop, right? Like you can choose to be in that. Hey, you join the PvP, you know, those factions, be ready for the consequences, right? But no, it's just literally anybody off rip. It can be anyone who's progging, anyone who's literally anything, right? And I know there is the bank system, right? There is the bank system, and that's good for now, right? Because people can put some of their stuff in there to alleviate the fact that they're gonna be getting jumped. But regardless, right? Anytime you farm any sort of motherfucker, any sort of farming in the future, motherfuckers will be there just to jump you off rip as soon as you finish the shits, right? As soon as you finish shits, and it's just not, the game is just not prepared for that, in my opinion, bro. The PvP is just not the greatest, balance is not the greatest, and I still think there's gonna be a massive gap between motherfuckers who are just jumping motherfuckers, who are prepped to jump motherfuckers, and people who are farming. There's gonna be a huge ass gap, very huge ass gap. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. The rest of this update, though, to be honest, right? The rest of this update, they had 2 new ledger weapons, a lot more farming, a lot more people just doing the same shit over and over again. I don't really see much new PvE here, but the biggest thing is just that, bro, people are playing this game for the damn PvE, bro. Maybe there's like a hidden reason. Maybe they're going to look ahead and kind of see what the game ends up kind of becoming. Maybe they're trying to shift the gear towards a more PvP focused game, but that's not why people are playing. I was ganking today on stream, and it was just free, literally no consequence, just because we had so many people. So there's no consequence to the motherfuckers who have like a giant squad who can just gang motherfuckers. There's not rogue, there's not deboking, bruh. It's Runeslayer. It's not the same, bro. The PvP is not the same, bro. Another possible solution maybe could have been like, for example, this is just an idea, but what Archive does, for example, they have these like nighttime servers, like the server will turn nighttime, and then like everyone who's just trying to casually play the game will leave. Everyone who's really like that and wants to prog way faster or wants to actually wipe players will stay in the server. They could have had servers that are dedicated towards more PvP focused experiences, bro. Because realistically, bro, most people are just not going to want to encounter this system, bro. And like I said again, bro, the game is not really ready for something like that. I think just like a dedicated area or like dedicated servers for that just makes a lot more sense, right? But obviously, you know, the best way, you know, the people who are going to profit the most from this update are people who are just going to be getting in like giant guilds or just giant houses and just jumping a bunch of people just to get as much as, like, and that's the craziest thing too, is that, dude, the RNG in this game is like awful. It's awful to grind. I low-key thought I'd make a video of this, but I mentioned in my review video, but the RNG gets really, really bad at the end, right? Really, really bad. I'm talking about like trying to get that gold ore, golden fairy, 5 to 6 rune slots, bro. So there's literally no reason just to not jump somebody. There's not a reason to be like, okay, well, let's work together. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for cooperation, where initially there was like, okay, me and you were gonna jump, you know, work together on the spider, and you still can do that, but it's a lot more likely I'm gonna join you on the spider. Maybe I get something. If I don't, I'm a murky, bro. I'm a murky with my homies, right? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Now for the rest of this update, I see that they added, like, for example, I see here non-mob boss have HP scaling, which, okay, I think that's appropriate because it was very, I think it would have been better if they made it just a bit easier for the solo, but that is actually pretty valid in my opinion. But they also made it a little bit more annoying, I think, fighting certain bosses as well, because they increased the posture on some of them. Is what it is on that. But overall, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this update, but we'll see what they do in the future, man. We'll see if they revert it. Hey, if they don't, it is what it is, bro. I'm gonna be farming motherfuckers until they do something about it. So that's gonna be all, guys. Peace.